Okay, for breakfast today, I'm gonna go ahead and have strawberry overnight oats. And I made my overnight oats. I just put the oatmeal, I actually just used water this time, threw some sweetener in there and then threw it in the fridge. I was in a hurry, but I wanted to make sure that I had these ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some sliced strawberries to my bowl and throw it in the microwave and have strawberry oatmeal for breakfast. I know, super simple, and this is why I don't film my what I ate today more than once a week, is because of the fact that I typically will eat, I kind of have my same go-tos all the time. So strawberry overnight oats, it's one of my favorites. I'm actually placing a grocery order, today or tomorrow, and I'm ordering more strawberries because, again, it's so good. And if it's so good and it's something you enjoy, go for it. But if you're getting in that rut where you have the same thing over and over and over, maybe it's time to kind of check something different out. So, little tip for the day. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my oatmeal going, and I will be back for probably lunch. I have my coffee going, coffee 1 point, oatmeal 0 points. So far today, 1 point used on the purple plan. All right, doesn't that look absolutely amazing? It's so good. I'm gonna let it sit and cool down a little bit. As it cools down, it will thicken just a bit. So, yummy strawberry oatmeal. All right, for lunch today, I am going to have some breaded air-fried fish, and you should have seen that video a couple of days ago. I'll link that video below so you'll be able to get to that. But I have my fish in the air fryer here. I'm going to pair that with some steam fresh vegetables. And I made up some Moroccan couscous. So I am going to have a super yummy lunch. Stay tuned. I'll put a picture in here so that you can check it out. Oh, lunch. So fish, I'm going to count for 2 points for the breading. The Moroccan couscous scans at 5 points, but it is made from whole wheat couscous. And I don't think this is supposed to be 5 points. I just think that it's not playing the, it's not taking into account the whole wheat couscous. It does have some sunflower seeds and things like that. So I normally count this for 3 points per serving. So I'm going to say my lunch is going to be 5 smart points. All right, it's time for a snack. I'm going to have one of these packages of the mac and cheese potato sticks, and I'm telling you, they just remind me of Cheetos in a certain way. So I'm going to enjoy one of these, 2 points, and then I will show you what I'm having for dinner. For dinner, I'm having a bowl of chicken taco chili on the purple plan. This is 0 smart points. I'm also going to have 10 saltine crackers, and that's the ones I'm using today, and that is going to be, I think, three or 4 smart points. I've got it in my tracker. I'll show you my tracker at the end. And I'm gonna have those with this. I'm gonna also have a Diet Pepsi. And then I'm gonna have a hot cup of tea later before I go to bed. And I am going to have some of these Goldfish Grahams s'mores. I'm gonna have 4 points of these. So I think it's like 45 pieces or something silly like that. So I'm gonna have 4 points of that. So that's gonna be my dinner and snacks for the night. We are on our way to the WW workshop now, and as usual, I'm going to come on here and chat with you about the weekly topic. Now, I did skip last week, and I thought that we would just cover both of those today because I can cover that one pretty quickly, as I think it was a very condensed topic itself. So last week we were talking, I'll have to remember what the actual name of the topic was because that just went out of my head. But we were talking about the changes in seasons and how your activity will change. So now that it's getting darker earlier, and it's dark when you get up, it's dark when you get home from work, it's just your activities that you were doing before may not actually work now that the seasons have changed, or the weather's changed, or we've transitioned into winter. And taking a really hard look at how your activity is. I mean, so before, if you were running outside or you just went for a really long walk, whatever the case may be, you may not be able to do that now because it's dark out. And I don't know about your husbands, but my husband does not like when I go out after dark walking around the neighborhood by myself. I mean, maybe if you have a walking partner, but I mean, you really can't see. So scratch the walking partner. Let's just kind of go with, let's find an alternate activity, because I don't know about you, but when I'm walking or I'm out doing my jog, what happens is I may not be able to see clearly. I may not be able to see a patch of ice on the sidewalk or on the road or wherever my activity's taking place. And if that's the case, it could be very dangerous. So if you just, you know where I'm going with this, right? So take a hard look, see what type of activity you're doing, and see what you can change. Another good thing about changing your activity with the season is that you're keeping everything fresh. You're not doing the same thing over and over again. You actually have the opportunity to change up. Maybe you like to walk in the summer, and then maybe you're going to start riding your stationary bike in the winter. Maybe you're going to do some exercise videos. I mean, whatever the case may be. But you're keeping your body active, and you're keeping it going in different directions to where it's not getting used to the same old day after day type situations. So that was last week. Whew. Yes, life got busy. I tried to get on. I tried to sit down to do it, and every time I sat down to do it, my head was not in the game, and I didn't want to talk about it when I was going to be stammering through it. So this week we are starting with a monthly theme. So the monthly theme for December, let me turn down the air here. The monthly theme for December is going to be setting boundaries, and that's super exciting because I think that this can be useful at any time, but especially during the holidays. And if we all learn how to set boundaries and start to think about our own needs and our own wants and our own goals, I think that what's going to happen is you are going to be better equipped to meet those goals and keep your routines going. So a lot of the times people ask you to do things, and sometimes there are things that you want to do, and that's great. Say yes, move on. But sometimes there are things that you hesitate or you hem and haw about, and you're like, it's just not something I want to do, or, I'm going to have to give up something else, or I'm going to have to rearrange my schedule, or it's just you flat out don't want to do it. So in those situations, it's okay to say no. And I know in this day and age, it doesn't happen as often as it should. So say no. It's all right. And if you're uncomfortable saying no, just say, just think of a different phrase, just say I can't, or, I'm not available at that time. Or, if it's something you really don't want to do, and it's something that you're just, you would be dreading it from the moment you said yes. What I want you to do is think of an alternative. Throw something different out there. You could just say, no, it's not that I don't want to do that. But, however, how about maybe we do this instead? And I guarantee you, if you tell a friend, maybe we do this instead, that they would be jumping at the chance to do that. Okay, just pulling out of the car wash. So I was going to give you examples, and I thought that might be a good thing. Let's just give you examples of situations. But I think that I just want to kind of talk about practicing saying no. And I think that if you start practicing saying no in not so serious situations, that I think it'll be easier for you to be able to say no when you have to say no to a friend. And saying no to a friend sometimes is a little harder because of the fact that it's your friend and you don't want to hurt your friend's feelings. And you're like, I just don't want to say no to them because they're going to think that I don't care about them. And that's not the case. It's okay to say no and put yourself first, put your needs first. Because saying yes all the time does not leave any gas in your tank for you. And I was thinking that, as I was going through the car wash, I was thinking that, now that we are pretty much quarantined still, now is the perfect time to be able to practice saying no, because you do have a reason. I mean, for some of us, we don't feel comfortable going into huge gatherings. We're practicing being safe and wearing our masks and things like that. But you are still going to be invited places. You're still going to be invited to parties or gatherings or Christmas celebrations. And trust me, people are still going to invite you. So now is the time to start practicing that word no. And once you get more comfortable saying that, I think that it's just going to make it so much easier for you. I'm kind of stopped at a red light right now. But it's going to make it so much easier for you when you have that situation where you want to say no. And my rule of thumb is, if somebody asks me to do something and I don't feel immediate excitement, if I hesitate, if I have to stop and think, almost every single time it's a no. And if I feel that surge of excitement and I'm like, oh, that sounds like super fun, then I'll say yes, and I won't even think twice about it. Sometimes I check my calendar first, because I don't know about you, but sometimes there's things on my calendar that I forget are there. So in my situation, it's something normally with the grandchildren, or with my mom, or So I think that's all I really wanted to say about this. I me's there's so many different ways that you can say no. You can just say, I appreciate the offer, thank you, but no thank you. There's so many different ways that you could say it. You don't have to be mean when you say no. And I know that some people, that's the first thing they think of is, oh, if I say no, I have to be mean about the situation. Not the case. So I want you to practice saying no and really think before you say yes. All right, so with that said, I'm going to continue on with my, I think I'm going to put this at the end. I'm going to do my what I ate today. You'll see that first, and then you'll catch up with my weekly topic wrap up at the end. So I am going to go ahead and say goodbye to you now. Tell you thanks for watching. Don't forget, give me a thumbs up because YouTube likes that. Leave me some comments below, and we will see you next video.